now for her nap, so I only have about an hour and a half to get this done. First, I would like to welcome you all to my YouTube channel, Prosper on Purpose. I've started this channel because God told me very specifically to vlog my journey to becoming a published author. And in the process of doing that, I decided I wanted to vlog about it, just so you could really get a behind the scenes of what this journey looks like for me as a working mom. I have a toddler. I am a music executive, formerly the Southeast Regional Promotions Director for Interscope Records. My entire department got laid off in February. I got laid off. With that being said, just so funny, I feel like I am now doing this for myself, for inspiration and motivation. I wrote a book called Prosper on Purpose. Right before I wrote that book, and the reason why I wrote that book is because my entire apartment burned down. I lost everything I owned, every single thing I owned in an apartment fire. I don't know if you live in Atlanta, if you remember it. It was Havana on Main in Buckhead. The entire apartment burned down and I lost every single thing I owned. And in that moment, as I'm looking at the apartment burned down, I was asking God, like, what are you doing? What could you possibly be doing in my life? And God said, I'm about to do greater. I need you to purge everything, because I'm about to give you way more than you can ever imagine. And in that moment, all I could do was trust God. I quiet myself. I let every single thing go. And I just asked God to just show me what to do. Y'all, I'm not a makeup artist. I'm not claiming to be a professional makeup artist. So you're going to see me do my makeup in probably unconventional ways. God told me to quiet myself and write a book and to tell my story and share my testimony of how I became who I am and who I was at the moment, because I'm a completely different person than I am now. But he told me to share my testimony of who I was at the time. Prosper on Purpose is basically my principle. I believe that as we are aspiring to become successful in whatever industries or careers that we work in, it is very important to focus on God in that relationship first, because God will then provide every single thing we need to succeed in whatever industries we're in. Told y'all, I'm not a makeup artist, just doing what I do. The book breaks down my life as a case study. It goes back into my family's history, because I believe your history is your future. And I think it is very important to understand where you come from to get an idea of where you are going. So in the very first chapter, I break down who I am and my family's history, so you can then understand all the intricate parts of me, and it'll make sense. So I break that down. So this is just me sharing my journey and my testimony, so you too can kind of have a guide and a blueprint of how to get closer to God and focus on that relationship first. And also, disclaimer, I'm not trying to be a pastor. I'm not a pastor. I'm not a minister. I didn't go to theology school. I didn't study the Bible. However, I do read my Bible. I am in the Word. I have a strong relationship with God. God don't play about me. Let me just put that out there for the critics who might try to come in here and say, oh, she's trying to be a minister. No, I'm not. I'm just using my story very raw and uncut, because I ain't gonna lie, I'm a little unpolished around the edges. I'm not this prissy, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm well spoken, but I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still a little rough around the edges. I'm from the country. But anyway, I just want to welcome you into my world, welcome you into my channel, and welcome you to discover your purpose. And by doing so, I'm getting closer to God. I'm gonna teach you how to do that, because I've done it. Because God put me through the fire, child. He sat me down. He removed everything in my life that was just distraction. Literally. and had me focus on him. And we'll get into that story. We'll get into that season of my life where I had to literally quit my job. God told me to quit my job, move home, and the prophecy said in 6 months he would restore me back to where I needed to be plus some. I'm going to share all of that. Thank you so much for trusting me with your time. I promise I won't waste it. I promise every time you watch a video, you're going to learn something from it. It's going to feed your spirit. Even if it's just one person, the job is done. So that's where we at with it.